Hey, this is Ice Spice, live with Jason Hughes. Get ready.
Hey, sounded great though. Yeah, hey, it's the goddamn podcast, bro. What up, Jason?
This is Jason Hughes, and welcome to the goddamn podcast.
Hey, you like to drink a little beer and then sip on some liquor? Open up your ears and then come and chill with us. Have a conversation trying to paint you a picture. Everybody still, we gon' talk about these issues. Throw in your suits in and come up with a nickel. We be talking cash shit if we ain't, how you figure? The goddamn podcast satisfied like a snicker. Now come and get a taste and stick your tongue out like a lizard. Welcome to the goddamn podcast, man.
You're now listening to the Goddamn Podcast. Here's your host, Jason Hughes.
Yes. We're back into his house. Okay. I wanted to discuss an important topic today because I feel like this topic is very, very sensitive. And we are discussing interracial dating. Whoop, whoop. All right, so before I get started, I have a co-host. She's not a guest, she's a co-host for today. Introduce yourself to the podcast listeners.
Hey y'all, it's Rox, and Jason's right. Tonight it is the Jason Rock Show.
Okay, yeah, so it's the Jason and Rock Show. She's the co-host for today. And so, just like I said, we are discussing interracial dating. All right. So, look, in my experience, in the early 80s and 90s, dating outside of your race was damn near unacceptable and frowned upon in public. Now, it appears more acceptable to the public. You know, I'm not sure if you guys have noticed, but I've seen more commercials with interracial couples. Publix and WeBuyAnyCar.com feature interracial couples in their ass. I know you saw that commercial, Rocks, when the dude was talking about, I'll take me a bubble bath, give me a pedicure, and the lady sold her car and jumped back in the car.
Right.
Yeah.
He was making all his plans before he even had his plans made.
Right.
He had sold the car.
Right. Yeah. So you had, ads like that. And then there was also a local ad called Dewey, which is a paving company that featured an interracial couple. So when I first saw all of those ads, I'm like, okay, everybody is beginning to embrace, the interracial, couple thing. And, and to me, that's good because you didn't see that in the past. All right. So, despite the acceptance, is interracial dating your thing? Okay. So, me and my co-hosts are going to tackle this together. And hopefully it doesn't go off the rails.
We're about to find out.
Right. Okay. First of all, before we get started, for those that don't know Jason Hughes, I am black. And so my co-host is...
And I am white.
Okay. Okay. Now, you took that ancestry test or whatever. What was that percentage? Yeah, I think she's got like 1% black or something in it.
Now, Jason, I thought we were saving that for a different podcast.
No, we might well bring it up now.
Yeah, so I took a 23andMe test recently. Both my kids had taken one. Well, my daughter had taken one, and then my son and I were kind of curious, so we both took one. And it came back that I'd have to look at it again, but it was just like very minute number. It was like less than 1% sub-Saharan African And so I have joked about it. And when I told my sisters that, one of them came back with, well, that explains your ass. So I was like, thanks a lot. And then I do have some Black friends that have always said that I was a light-skinned Black girl. And so then when I got that back, I was like, look, y'all were right. You were right. But no, if you look at me and whatever and look at my children and my parents, then yeah, I am white.
All right.
Somewhere, somehow, though, there was some in there, and I'm going to claim it, Jason.
Hey, they always say if you even got an ounce of black in you, you're black, God damn it.
Exactly.
All right. So there's no beating around the bush. We finna jump right into these questions. Okay, so here's the first question. How do you feel about people dating outside of their race? You want me to go first or you want to go first?
You can go first.
Okay, I'm going to go first. As the host, you guys. I'm going to go first. Okay, how do I feel? I think it's great. And let me tell you why. Back in the day, as a Black man, we was always told, you can't date that white girl. You can't date that blonde haired, blue eyed girl because, people gonna frown upon you or whatever. But the thing about it, I know at least with me, and I wish I had some more brothers on the podcast today, but when you watch TV, you are fed with commercials, TV shows, and movies with some hot ass white women. So you don't have no choice but to be attracted, to white women. And so as much as you stared, salivated, Googled-eyed, you were scared to ask them on a date because you was told, people will look down on you. You will get lynched. I know y'all done saw Roots. You thought all these things as a Black man. And so now that the perception has changed, I think it's lovely. I look at it like this. As long as two people are attracted to each other and they love each other, I don't give a damn what race you are or what color you are. I don't give a damn if you purple, green, beige, or anything. It doesn't matter. We all bleed red. And and that, my friend, is the bottom line. And so that's all I got to say about that. What you think?
Jason, I agree with you. That's all you saw and stuff on TV commercials, whatever, was the white women and always, white couples. There wasn't ever a, an interracial couple. You never saw one,
Right.
until, several years ago. So yeah, it's like, you do see that, in your cases, you're like, all these, hot women they're showing on, TV, bathing suits, whatever, but you're also hearing like, oh, you shouldn't date them. And now there's still people out there that don't see it as acceptable.
Right.
And you and I both know that. I personally don't have a problem with it. I will tell you that I did not date outside of my race until I moved to Nashville. So that was 12 years ago.
Ooh.
I dated and married my high school sweetheart. And we were together for years, 2 kids and stuff. Of course, people did have joked before that he could possibly be Black, but it's the French and Indian. I mean, he's just very dark complected. But no, I didn't date outside my race until I moved to Nashville. And now I have kind of found my preference is to date outside my race. I feel like they're more acceptable or accepting of my size.
Right. Right. Yeah, I can see that. Okay. So you said you didn't start doing it when until you came to Nashville. What changed? Were you always curious, but you just didn't want to pursue that curiosity until you came to Nashville?
I think maybe, I don't know if I was always curious, but I'd never seen a problem with it. I mean, I lived in a small rural town. We, blacks were definitely a minority in the high school I went to. And so there was, interracial couples when I was in high school, some of them. But I don't want to say I was ever curious. I just know that I didn't never see anything wrong with it.
Right.
And I don't know, I was moved down here, and about a year after I'd been here, I hopped on a dating site and someone had sent me a message, and I'm like, oh, let's just see what happens and stuff. And just kind of went from there. And then I just realized that, and then I kind of like continued to get messages and stuff anytime, or, have guys hit on me. And I'm like, okay, let's just, go from there.
Right.
So, I mean, I have dated white guys since I've been in Nashville, but preference is not.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Okay. All right. Okay, here's the second question we are about to tackle. Would you date or enter into a relationship with someone of a different race? I can tell you yes. And but I'm right now I'm a single person, but I've been out on dates with a Latino. I've been out with a white girl. Now I've never been out with an Asian, but they're still on my bucket list, you guys.
That's a bucket list for women. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I need an Asian lady on my roster.
So if there are any Asian ladies listening to the podcast, please message Jason.
Right. Yeah. Hey, yeah. I love me some Asian women. Hey. But anyway, well, okay, let's get back on topic. But yes, I would date or enter into a relationship with someone of a different race. And the reason being is I want to learn something different other than, my culture. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, I want them to learn my culture. And so to me, when you date outside your race, it's almost like, you mixing cultures, you finding out more about that person.
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas when you're dating someone as the same race, you all know, each other's culture. And I'm not saying that it won't work. I'm just saying, to me, when I date outside my race, it's more to experience and more to talk about. So that's what I'm saying. So I kind of keep my mindset open. I don't want, and by me talking about this, I'm not sitting up there saying I would never date a black woman. No, I love my black sisters. But what I'm saying is that, dating outside of my race, it's just a mixture of everything. If we was to compare it to ice cream, my favorite ice cream was Neapolitan. It was chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry.
So experience it all.
Yeah, you just want it all. That was my favorite ice cream, even though I don't eat ice cream no more. And don't nobody send me no nasty message that I don't eat ice cream anymore. But anyway, yeah, Neapolitan was my favorite ice cream because it had like everything. And that's how I am when I'm dating like someone that's not black. I got like everything. And I feel like it's an advantage. At least to me it is. But, just like I said, I could be wrong. But that's my opinion.
There's a surprise in that box somewhere, Jason. Is that what you're hoping?
I do what?
Are you hoping there's a surprise in that box somewhere or that carton?
Hey, ain't wasn't nothing like that.
I already said that I am perfectly fine dating outside my race. But, Jason just said, and I kind of want to clarify too, that Jason just said he has, that he would also date black women. And I would also date, white men. And I have dated white men. It's just that it seems like for the most part, I've dated more black men, and that is kind of my preference. But that's not to say that if, a white man didn't if he showed up and, treated me right, that it's like, okay, maybe that was in the cards for me. So. Right.
Yeah, it's, dating is hard, but at the same time, you gotta keep your options open.
Yes, you do.
Right.
And it's even harder with all this social media stuff and all these dating apps and sites.
Right.
Most people seem to be looking just, for the grass that's greener on the other side.
Okay, well, let me ask you a personal question then. Yeah, as my co-host for the day. When you on them dating apps, do you get more hits from people outside your race or white men?
From outside my race.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. Here's question number 3. Ooh, and I can't wait to answer this one. Have you ever had an awkward moment by going out on a date with someone of a different ethnicity? And I can say, hell to the motherfucking yeah. Let me tell you how long ago this was. And for anybody that lives in Antioch, Tennessee, I'm finna take you back.
It's story time.
Right, it's story time with Jason Hughes, baby. But I took a girl out to Logan's in Antioch. Now, that motherfucker's closed down now.
It's been closed for several years now.
Yes,
so
yeah. I took a girl out to Logan's. Me and her met at Logan's. And the stares that we got, you would have thought that I had stabbed somebody. People, I mean, and it just wasn't the people that was inside the restaurant. It was the waiters, the waitresses, the hostess. They was looking at us like we was like some type of disease. And I noticed it, and I was hoping she didn't notice it, but she was like, and I was her very first black guy that she ever went out on a date with. And so she was like, is it just me or is everybody staring at us? And I told her, I was like, look, I gotta be completely honest with you. Yeah. We're the main attraction today.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, I wonder if that deters people from dating outside of their ethnicity.
I bet it does deter some people from doing so because they don't want to be looked at like they're a circus act all the time.
Right. And, just like I said, I was very uncomfortable. I can tell you, I was so uncomfortable. Every time I go to a steak restaurant, hey, my plate is clean. I ain't even finished my plate. I was just ready to pack up and get my shit out of there. I told her, I was like, look, you can follow me to my place and, we can chill there. And that's what we did. But I would never forget that day. And the thing about it, and they always say, when people say I'm not a racist, that means that they are racist. But yeah,
damn straight.
Yeah. But I would have thought, because most of the workers inside Logan's were black people. They was my black people. I would have thought they would have understood. But they looked like they was more judgmental than the white workers that was in there.
I can see that.
And I was like, God damn. Because, when you go to, with Antioch, having a population of a lot of African Americans, you would think that you wouldn't get that judgment. And so that's the reason why I picked that restaurant. It would have been different. I would have expected that if I would have told her, meet me in Brentwood, meet me in Cool Springs.
Oh, yeah, especially those areas.
Right.
Because they're the snobby areas.
Right, yeah. Meet me in Green Hill. I would have understood that. But for her to meet me in Antioch and we still got the same stairs, oh, no, dog. That was fucked up. She ended up, we went out like on a couple of dates, and then she moved. And she did reach out to me, like a few months afterwards, but by that time, I kind of moved on. But I never asked her, if she dated any more black men, because I just kind of figured that after that experience, she probably was like, nah, I'm not going through that shit no more.
Jason, I don't want to say that.
Take your time.
I've kind of had it happen, but it's not been like anytime I've been out with someone of, the opposite race. It was, the one that kind of really stands out is our first date actually was this again, kind of dating things, because Camino Real is not here anymore, just down the road from us. Unfortunately, right. I wish it still was. But first date was there and it was cool. No judgmental looks, anything like that. Second date though, we went to Smyrna for dinner. I don't remember where we went, but we kind of got some looks there. And then we really got some looks in Target of all places, because I told him, I said, what, because he kind of asked me last minute and stuff to go out with him because his plans had changed. And I was like, yeah, sure. I said, I have to go to Target. I said, I have to shop for work baby shower. I said, so do you want to go to Target and buy baby shower gifts with me after we have dinner? And he was like, sure, whatever. So we had dinner and we did get some stares there, and I kind of felt uncomfortable, but it was really noticeable in Target and stuff. And I had brought it up to him first, actually. I was like, why do I feel like other people in the baby section are staring at us? And he's like, because they are. And I don't know. I mean, and of course, when you're like 5'3" and with a 6'5" black guy, I just think, well, it's the height difference. But no, I really felt that it was because it was interracial. So yeah. Right.
But I think what amazes me is that when I went out with that Latino, I didn't get those stares. And know, just like I said, some people think I am Latino.
That they do.
Latino, Mexican, or whatever. So maybe that's the reason why we didn't get those stares. But yeah, when I took that Latino out, wasn't no problem. But as soon as you take a white girl out, people staring at you like, what the fuck they doing together?
And given the fact that you're all MLB, Martin Luther Beige over here, I don't know why you get looks like that anyway. It's not, I mean, your winter color is like my summer colors.
Right.
I don't know why it's such a big deal.
Right. Right. You got that right. Yeah, you guys, your boy have to tan too. All right. So here is another question. Ooh, and it's a tough one. If your family didn't approve of this relationship, with somebody outside your race,
I've been waiting for this.
Would you stop seeing this person?
I've been waiting for an answer for some sort of question like this one. First of all, hell to the no. I'm not going to stop seeing someone if my family does not approve of them. Because I feel like in some ways family is what you make it, and it's not always blood relation.
Right.
And, Jason, I mean, I feel like you're my brother because we're so close. And so, yeah, family is what you make it. But I was kind of waiting for you to bring something like this up because years ago, when I say years ago, what is this? What year is this? 2023?
2023.
Okay, so 11 years ago, so 2012. And I had been in Missouri because that's where all my family is, and I am going with my mom to go into the nursing home to see my grandma who was in there, and Alzheimer's and stuff. And I was driving and I'd gotten a phone call, and so I just kind of answered it and was real quick. And then I got off the phone. And I'm like, I'll talk to you later. I'm with my mom, kind of thing. And she's like, oh, who was that? And started drilling me. First of all, it's probably the main reason I live in Nashville, because family cannot drill you as much about your private life when they have to call you or send you a text. Because
Right.
you can ignore those things easily.
Right.
If you live just down the road from them or something, they're going to bother you more often. But she kind of started drilling me. And so I'm telling her. And then she was just kind of, she'd said something. And I was like, well, just out of curiosity, I said, how do you feel about me dating a black guy? Because I wanted to see, again, grown up small rural town, it's not like there's, populations like 99.9% white.
Right.
And I just kind of wanted to see what her reaction would be. And she was like, well, honestly, I thought that blank would probably date outside their race before you would. And I'm using blank because the person is someone very close to me.
Okay.
And I don't want to, give a name.
Right.
And so I was like, what do you mean by that? And she was like, well, they have, went to high school with a bunch of different races, and you didn't so much. And it just kind of surprises me. And I said, still, you kind of didn't answer my question. How do you feel about it? And she hem-hawed around it and never really said anything. So I truly believe I have not yet, and I don't know if I would ever, take one home, so to speak, to family. That sounded bad, but you know what I mean? I don't know if I would ever, if I got in a relationship, I'd have to think long and hard if I was going to introduce it to my family, to be honest. Certain people in my family. But it just kind of like right then and there, I kind of knew. I'm like, okay, she is going to have a hard time with this if I were to ever get into a serious relationship with someone outside of my race. I could tell already just by the way she was hemming and hawing and the answer she had given. And still to this day, there's been, kind of things brought up at family gatherings, and, there's been people that have said things, and it's just made me look at my family in a different way. And I'm like, okay, if that's how you feel and that's how you think, then I know that if I ever get in a serious relationship, this interracial one, it's probably I'm going to have to pick and choose. And
Right.
depending on the situation, I'm probably not going to choose my family.
Right. Right. One thing that I can say, at least about my mom and my stepdad, they are accepting of everybody. I've never brought anybody outside of my race home,
Mm-hmm.
but my stepbrother has, twice.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we always have like, a white girl in the bunch, chilling with us, whatever, and they just accepting of it. And and the thing about it, they accepting of everything, just not, outside your race, if you gay and you like boys,
Mm-hmm.
or if you a female and you like girls, they are accepting of it.
That's really good because a lot of the older generation has trouble with that.
Right.
And I, personally have seen that as well with my family.
Right. Yeah, so that's one thing I appreciate about my parents is that they're very acceptable. They are not judgmental to, they sit up there and they be like, "Oh, you bringing such and such? Okay, well, bring them on," because to them it's like the more the merrier.
Right.
So that's one thing I love about my family. I can date anybody and they will not judge me. They always say, as long as you happy,
Exactly.
that's all that matters. That is all that matters. Okay. So although we are in 2023, there are still some that aren't buying into interracial dating trends. Oh, Lord. As a warning, these audio clips I'm about to play may piss you off. So I'm about to ready to play this first audio clip. And these are people that are against interracial dating.
I think some of you white women who date black men should absolutely be ashamed of yourself when you know 90% of the people around you don't accept that. So not only are you putting your loved one in danger and at the risk of so much more that comes with people not accepting interracial relationships. If you do end up marrying this individual, you're also putting your kids at risk that you will have one day because your family won't accept them. So then your kids are going to have to go through life knowing that family disowns them and so on. So, with that being said, stop putting black men's life in danger just because you feel like you should do it. I think there's levels to dating someone to ensure their safety. If you're not one of the white women who will take that step to stand up to your white family through and through, no matter what, then it's something that you shouldn't do. And that goes for you having black friends too. Protect black men and black women or brown or people of color in this country at all costs. Just because it's something that you want to do doesn't mean that you shouldn't take the whole picture into consideration. Yeah, love who you want to love. Do what you want to do. At the end of the day, are you really going to stand up for what's right and call out those around you, family or not family, to make sure the people that you love are safe? Because from what I see, a lot of y'all don't. And a lot of y'all have ruined your biracial children. Just as a white woman, I see this. You don't allow your children to be in their blackness. You don't teach your children about their blackness. You don't overstep and get in between people who treat your children indifferently or your loved one indifferently that you are in a relationship with. If you're not ready to do that, stop dating outside of your race. Period. You might be okay with it, but that doesn't mean the people who you try to force around your kids or your loved one is okay with it. There's so many levels to this. Be mindful.
You know what? I don't know what her problem was, but apparently when she recorded this video, she was on her period.
Lord have mercy. So many things there to take in. How do you know that the people with biracial children are not embracing their blackness, so to speak,
right,
and teaching their children that culture and those things? I mean, does she know? Does she have biracial children and her family didn't like them? That's kind of what I want to know. I need to know that.
Right. To me, it was almost like she was speaking on her experience, yes. But just because it was happening to her, that don't mean it's happening everywhere.
Exactly. But yeah, I really got that. I felt like she was speaking on her experience and not just in general. So I said, I would really like to know if she has biracial children.
Right. Yeah. And unfortunately, you guys, I think that was the only video that she recorded. God damn.
She got a lot of hate mail.
Yeah, she probably did. Yeah, but just like I said, everybody is entitled to their own opinion, but don't put out videos like this just because that's what you see at your family gathering. Because what's happening at your family gathering is not necessarily what's happening at my goddamn family gathering.
And if you're putting out a video like that, then you need to be prepared for comments and backlash from others and let them have their say.
Right. All right. Are you ready for the second clip that's going to piss us off?
I don't know, Jason.
Yeah, this one might piss you off even more. All right, y'all. So
let me get my woosah meditation mode here.
The second clip I'm about to play is from Dr. Umar. And he was on the radio show The Breakfast Club. And he explains his stance on interracial marriages. Okay, so yeah, when I heard this, I was like, God damn, this dude's smoking crack. But here we go.
Totally against interracial relationships?
I am totally against it, and I want to make sure you understand why. The reason I'm against interracial marriage, Envy and Charlemagne, is because marriage is an economic contract. Most women do not marry down in status. They marry up. And if you don't believe me, show me a rich white woman married to a broke-ass black man. Have you ever seen a rich white woman marry a broke-ass black man? No, you have not, and you never will. Because marriage ain't about love. It's not colorblind, and it is totally economic. So if marriage is an economic unification in a contract, how can we, who don't have enough already, give so much to the white woman and to white people who have already taken too much when we got all these black women out here who will never get married?
God damn. Now, as far as his comment about a rich white woman dating a broke black man, I've been wrapping my brain around there for the past week ever since I found this video. And, so far he's right, but still, that's not, I guess I look at it from the standpoint, that's not the mindset of everybody. I do understand why, he's saying a woman is not going to date down. I understand that, because even most of the women, you know what? No, I can't even say that, because let me tell you something. There are some women that I went out on dates with, that made more than me as far as salary wise. Mm-hmm. But that didn't deter them from, stop dating me. We still went out on multiple dates or whatever, just that, we just grew apart. But it had nothing, it had nothing to do with money. But there are some women that do think like that. They like, okay, if I'm the breadwinner, then what the fuck do I need you for?
Right. Jason, why didn't you give me this video ahead of time or this audio?
No, because I wanted everybody's reaction to this.
so I could just let this sink in and think about this. I don't want to say he's right, but I understand where he's coming from with that, because as you just said, if I'm a woman making more than my man, then in some ways, really, what do I need you for?
Right.
Pretty much the only thing I need, sex.
Right.
But it's not all about that, because even if the man is not financially stable in the sense that they are making, more than the woman, there are other things though that they can provide. Because for me, it's not just about financial stability. That is nice. And
Right.
I will say that, first and foremost, that is nice. But there's other things. You want that companionship. You want that friendship. You want somebody that's going to be there. If you've had a really shitty day, you're hoping that they're going to listen and that they're going to recognize when you need space and when you don't, and just different things. But it's more than just the financial piece of it.
Right. Right. I guess what took me back was he was saying the way he described it was like white women are making more than black women.
Yes,
I don't agree with that. I mean, he could be right.
Right. No, I kind of caught that too, because he made he made the comment where all the black women are out here, single and not married.
Right.
But he never once mentioned like a black woman making more than a black man in a relationship, or even a black woman making more in a, with a white man in a relationship.
Right.
There was none of that. And there was no speak of women being equal in their salaries in regards to black or white. And I did catch that.
Right. And so that was one of the things that I didn't agree with, because, he's addressing the white woman making more than the black guy. And so he's basically saying that's why you should date the black woman. Hell, I done met many of black women that make more than me. Hell, my ex-wife make more than me right goddamn now. We ain't married no more. But, that's what I'm saying, so it's almost like, I don't know where the fuck, if that's what he's basing his analysis on, he needs to stop being on Wikipedia.
Can you go in and change his page?
Right.
Stuff to it?
Yeah, he need to do something about that. All right. So with that being said, we are ending this podcast. Thanks for listening. And as
Bye, y'all.
And as I always say, God damn.